What's going on, guys? Mr. Domo here, and welcome back to the channel. So as a continuation of finding some cool retro action figures, I picked up this 1981/1982 Master of the Universe He-Man, and this is the first edition of He-Man that came out back in the day in 1982. Now the figure is stamped as 1981, but I think when they grade it, it's considered as 1982 just because of the release of the figure. But here it is. I mean, He-Man, Master of the Universe, and I mean, this guy is still popular. Back in his heyday in the 80s, I mean, this figure was hot. It was competing with Star Wars, Transformers, yeah, and so forth. But this guy right here, I mean, is still selling. They're still making these action figures in this like vintage style, and they're still selling. And I was really excited. This is a Taiwan variant. There are many variants to this first He-Man. Of course, there's like a Mexican one, there's Italy, Brazil. This figure just came out worldwide. And the cool thing about this is that it's fully complete, all Taiwan weapons, all Taiwan, the figures from Taiwan. And then obviously you see back here is this mini figure that the first figures came out with, and this is really cool, and it kind of just tells the origin story of He-Man. And this one's just saying He-Man was from a tribe, and he didn't have any magical powers or his magical weapons and so forth, and then he met the sorceress who gave him, excuse me, his battle axe, his shield, and his power sword. And so that pretty much gave him his his ability there. But this is really awesome. I mean, the figure's complete. He does come with his cool little battle axe, and of course every accessory is stamped from their country of origin. So of course this is Taiwan, and you can see it right there at the top. It says Taiwan. And then of course his power sword, again, it's stamped back there. It says Taiwan. And his shield here also, it's stamped on the back. So that was kind of interesting that they stamped everything, Taiwan, the country of origin. And of course He-Man himself, he's got his harness there, and then on the back here, it is stamped right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see. There it is. So 1981 Taiwan. And what's interesting about this figure, besides being like crazily bulked out, is that he did have a unique feature, which was like kind of like their power swing or power punch. So you would rotate him, and then he would swing back, and he had like that spring tension right there. And of course he had a what's it called, a soft head, so this is not fully plastic. You could kind of squeeze it, which is kind of funny. So yeah, so I am excited. I mean, it's not the mintiest, but I can't wait to send this off. I'm not gonna send it off to AFA just because AFA right now is just limited to doing loose vintage Kenner Star Wars action figures. So I'm actually gonna send this off to Collector Archive Services, excuse me, and that's just because they do a really good job of displaying these figures, especially with the accessories, and then of course the mini comic book back there. They put it all really nice together, and so right now they're obviously they grade anything you want. I mean, Collector Archive Services like has no limit, which is kind of cool. The only drawback to obviously Collector Archive Services is just that if you don't opt into their $100 kind of rush order, then you're waiting like about 6 months. And so as of right now, I am still waiting on a couple of bootlegs and a GI Joe that I sent in, a vintage GI Joe. So that's still taking some time, but I just wanted to share this with you guys before I actually wrap it up, send it off to Collector Archive Services before it gets graded. It's probably going to get maybe a 70-75 score. I see a couple of deficiencies here, with the paint and stuff like that. But I think the comic, the accessories, and the figure alone, I mean, it is just awesome to have, these retro action figures. And like I said, they are still making these guys. I mean, this figure, the Master of the Universe action figures are still popular to this day. So it's pretty nuts, but I just wanted to get this. I just want to share with you guys this crazy awesome action figure. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will definitely do I'll upload a video once I get that from Collector Archive Service and show you how it got graded and how it got displayed. But thank you for the support, and I will talk to you in the next video.